All of us know what chaos is. We've all experienced it, we've all lived it, we've all been victims of it. We've all perpetuated it. Chaos, whether that's disappointment, a bad day, a failed expectation. Chaos can be a relationship that didn't work out, deceit, or even abuse or injustice. And for many of us, chaos is the default setting for our existence. We don't really know any other reality, and we've just become experts at managing the chaos. The story of Genesis is very aware of this reality, so much so that the opening lines of this book do not begin with perfection. They begin with chaos. Now the earth was formless and empty. In Hebrew, tohu vavohu. These words could mean desolation, waste, or even a void. The text goes on to read, and darkness was over the face of the deep. More descriptions depicting a reality that is absent of life, meaning, or purpose. The next line reads, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Now, waters in the ancient world were a paradoxical symbol. While on one hand, water was life, water also symbolized chaos. Consider flooding, storms, deep seas. Gathered waters to the ancient mind and even to our modern world were destructive and dangerous. This is quite the description of the world at the beginning of this story. Perhaps you could call this world dysfunctional. This reality is not good. But let's read that last line again. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Now, the word for spirit there is the word ruach, which could also mean wind or breath, which is a beautiful image since God is about to speak creation into being. And that Spirit of God was hovering. In Hebrew, the word merchefet, over the face of the waters. Now, this word is found only 3 times in the Hebrew scriptures. Now, listen carefully to how it is used in Deuteronomy chapter 32. In a desert land, he found him, in a barren and howling waste. He shielded him and cared for him. He guarded him as the apple of his eye, like an eagle that stirs up its nest and hovers over its young, that spreads its wings to catch them and carries them aloft. The Lord alone led him. No foreign god was with him. Like an eagle that stirs up its nest and hovers over its young. Hovering in this passage is about caring for, protecting, and guarding the life that is emerging underneath its wings. And perhaps this is the image of the Spirit in Genesis 1. That in the midst of the barrenness and chaos of the world, even in the midst of darkness and dysfunction, the Spirit and breath of God is there, hovering, guarding, protecting, and caring for the life that is emerging. In other words, God may be incubating new life out of the chaos of the waters. And in fact, chaos may be the very stuff of creation. Now, the text doesn't seem to care at all about explaining why chaos is there in the first place. Genesis simply accepts and fully recognizes its existence without blaming or finding fault in someone or something for that chaos. What Genesis seems to be most interested in is what can emerge from the chaos. Whenever tragedy happens, whether that be a natural disaster, a crippling disease, maybe a tragic loss, there's always this nagging impulse that we have to find fault in someone or something for that chaos. And many of us know what it's like to feel blamed and even shamed ourselves for the tragedies that have happened, either to us or in this world. It is to that shame that Genesis speaks and says, God does not shame, he hovers. And the Spirit of God hovered over the face of the waters, This phrase is a dramatic turning point and development in this creation narrative. God is about to transform this disorganized, barren, desolate chaos into a meaningful and purposeful creation. All of us know what chaos is. This story is written to help us also know that there is hope and redemption and the presence of God in and through the chaos. That chaos can be transformed and new life can be incubated out of it. Like an eagle hovering over its young.